If you have never heard your own kid whisper, "Dad, please don't make me go back," it hits you in a place no money or title can touch, and that was the moment I realized something at our perfect school and in our perfect house was deeply wrong. I'm Ethan. People love to say self-made millionaire, like it's a personality type, but before that, I was the quiet broke kid teachers wrote off because it was easier than asking why I shut down. So when my daughter Lily started waking up, pale, clinging to her backpack, inventing stomach aches every time we turned into Ridgeview Academy, I recognized that look and I swore I wouldn't be the dad who shrugs and says, "You're fine." The night I slid a recorder into the seam of her bag, I told myself I was being paranoid, but when I pressed play and heard my wife Harper call my 7-year-old shameful for crying and promised to show your dad what a disappointment you really are, I knew the danger wasn't out there. It was sitting at my table using my last name. Crestview looked like healing clean sidewalks, ocean air, neighbors who wave Ridgeview Academy shining on the hill with banners about excellence. It felt like the right place to start over after we lost Lily's mom. I poured my guilt and money into a scholarship foundation for kids like I used to be. And then I met Harper. Smart, patient literature teacher said she understood grief red, with Lily smiled soft, in a way that made everyone relax. Friends said, "She's perfect for you." The school called us a power couple for good. And I wanted it to be true so badly that I ignored how Lily stiffened when Harper said, "Don't call me Ms. Brooks, call me Mom, now we're a real family." Ignored the look Lily gave me like she was asking if she had to, and I just said, "You'll get used to it." In public, Harper was gold. Hugging kids, charming Principal Hargrove, joking with Vice Principal Porter, bragging about our foundation, talking about firm guidance and love in one breath. And I told myself maybe I was the one who didn't understand structure. At home, it was small things that didn't bruise. Lily, sit up, don't shuffle, look at people, stop being so dramatic. Always with a thin smile, you know what I mean? The kind of nice that makes your stomach knot. One afternoon, I came home early and found Lily at the kitchen island, writing the same sentence over and over. "I must be quiet, I must be good, I must not embarrass Mom." And when I asked, Harper slid in with a towel and a laugh. "It's just a reflection exercise, she talks too much." Then changed the subject. I took a picture of the page and pretended to drop it. Then came the mornings where Lily froze at the door, whispering she didn't want to see her coma, apologizing for being difficult. One drop-off, I watched Harper in the mirror. With me there, she kissed Lily's forehead. As soon as I rolled away, I saw her face go flat. Chin up, no tears, do not embarrass me in my classroom again. And Lily folded into herself like she'd been hit. That same day, Lily slipped a folded note into my jacket and said, "Read later." At a red light, I opened it. Crooked letters, "I'm scared of my teacher. She says I'm shameful. Please don't be mad." And people honked behind me, but I just sat there, suddenly a kid again, remembering every time an adult called me sensitive instead of safe. That night, after Lily fell asleep with the stuffed raccoon her mom gave her, I pulled out a little digital recorder from my desk, opened the lining of her backpack, strap, tucked it in, smoothed it down. My hands were steady because deep down I already knew. Next day was normal on the surface, Ridgeview staff waving, Harper texting, hearts, meetings, calls. But that evening I went straight to my office, plugged in the recorder, hit play, and hoped I was wrong. Static chairs, kids, then Harper's real voice, the one she never used on me. "Lily, faster, you finish every line or you eat lunch standing. Are we clear?" My daughter's tiny, "Yes." The crack of a ruler when another kid dropped a crayon. "Crying is weakness. Quiet girls are good girls." Porter walked in smug. Hard to believe Ward runs a company and raises a kid this soft. And Harper laughed. He's too busy signing checks. He trusts me with all the paperwork. That's why those invoices go through. My name like a punchline. I listened to every second, wrote down timestamps and sentences, felt that focused, clean anger slide in. The quiet kid they'd underestimated now had money, a lawyer, and a reason. I sent the file to my friend and attorney Marcus. He listened and said, "If we swing, they'll say you're controlling and vindictive. They'll try to bury you first. So if you start this, you finish it." I told him I was done swallowing it. There was one person at Ridgeview whose face tightened every time Harper snapped Jenna, the young aide. We met at a diner off the highway. She brought a USB with reports, screenshots, and an internal memo about the reflection room, a windowless box where kids were locked to regulate emotions. And she said, "They put Lily in there, they call it therapy. It's punishment, and they're using your foundation's name to cover it." With Marcus's help, we got Ridgeview to approve a student engagement camera for Harper's room funded by my foundation. Publicly, it was innovation. Privately, the feed was ours. On that footage, we saw Harper drawing taped squares and forcing kids to stand inside, making Lily kneel for attitude. Kids sobbing by the reflection room, Porter dropping envelopes, Harper tucking them away. I thought, we collect this, we go to the right people, we shut it down clean. Then the feed cut files, corrupted logs showing an internal wipe. My home network pinged an access attempt. The metal around my safe was scratched. Next morning, I got an email from a throwaway account with a draft complaint accusing me of stealing from my own fund and a line, "Transfer full control to the attached entity within 48 hours, or this goes public." Yeah, that happened. Jenna was suspended for data breaches. Hargrove hinted about over-involved parents. Porter smirked. Harper came home with Lily's favorite cupcakes, moving through the living room like she owned the place, fingers grazing the safe handle just a little too long. That night, Lily came into my office, rain pounding the windows, and asked, "If I tell the truth, will they take you away?" And that cut deeper than anything Harper had said. I told her no one was taking me, no one was taking her, and she finally told me everything about the threats, the room, Harper saying I'd go to jail if she talked. Marcus said, "They're already trying to flip it, we don't hide anymore." Ridgeview called an assembly to address false rumors. Banners, local news, Hargrove on stage selling integrity, Harper in cream, doing sad eyes, Porter by the door. I walked in with a hard drive, didn't ask permission, plugged it into their projector, said, "If we're protecting children, let's start here," and played the footage. Harper towering over Lily, ordering her to kneel, threatening humiliation, the reflection room door closing. You could feel the air leave the room. A young coach filmed it on his phone because he knew they'd try to shut it down, which they did. But it was too late. Copies were already safe. Within hours, the video hit the internet. Parents were at the gates demanding to see the room. Reporters swarmed. Investigators sat down with Marcus and me as we laid out the money trail. My foundation to Porter's shell companies, Harper's signatures, Hargrove's approvals. In court, they tried to paint me as a vengeful rich guy, said the recordings were doctored, called Jenna bitter, called Harper strict. But the timestamps, bank statements, multiple backups, and other families' stories spoke louder. The judge didn't buy alternative discipline. Harper went to prison on abuse and fraud, Porter for longer on financial crimes. Hargrove lost her license and her shiny reputation, and Ridgeview Academy shut its doors. When the property went up for sale, people told me to let it rot. But I didn't want Lily flinching every time she saw it. So I bought it and turned it into Harbor House, a center for kids like her. Free counseling art rooms with open doors, tutors who listen first. We tore out the reflection room on day one, knocked down the wall, put in windows and paint-splattered tables. Months later, I watched Lily walk into that same corner with Jenna look around, shrug. It's smaller than I remember, then sit to paint a crooked blue ocean. That was the night she slept through. I stepped back from chasing the next deal, spent my days listening to kids whose stories sounded too familiar, and for once using my money felt right. Eventually, I asked Jenna to marry me in the Harbor House courtyard, simple and honest, Lily throwing petals, laughing like the kid she almost didn't get to be. In the lobby, we keep Lily's old backpack and that tiny recorder in a glass case with a plaque that says, "Sometimes the smallest voice is the only honest one in the room." And people stop, read it, argue about it. Some say I'm a hero. Some say I'm crazy for bugging my own kid and blowing up a whole institution instead of handling it quietly. So I'm asking you, was I wrong to put that recorder in her bag? Is that crossing a line or exactly what a parent should do when every official door is locked? Do we hide cruelty behind the word strict because it's easier than admitting some teachers and partners are just bullies in better clothes? Tell me in the comments where you stand, what you would have done at that red light with that note in your hand. Hit like if you believe kids deserve to be trusted the first time they say, "I'm scared." Share this if you think sunlight beats silence, and if it was your child at the door saying, "Please don't make me go back." What would you honestly choose? And if you've seen something like this in your own school, town, or family, speak up down there, because staying quiet is exactly how people like Harper keep winning.